Hey everyone, today I want to show you how you can use the jump to bot action to simplify even further your bot flow. Here I'm demonstrating a very simple bot where you ask and wait for an answer multiple times. This is a very simple bot, but at the end you end up with a very complex flow for two reasons. We have the same pattern that we repeat multiple times, and also we have a scheduled fallback that jump back the question. So here you can see we send a message, we wait the user answer. If the user answer in time, then we ask another question and wait again, and so on. If the user doesn't answer, then we have a scheduled fallback where we ask the user to answer, and what we do is we also have some logic to be sure that we don't spam the user with scheduled fallback or reminder. And to do so, what we do is we set a variable with the number of retries. We check the number of retries. If it has reached this maximum retry number, then we jump back. If it has reached this number of retry, then we stop the bot. So this is very common pattern that sometimes you will have in your bot repeated many times, and it will overcomplicate your flow. So now we will see how we can handle this in a simpler way. To do so, we will create a new bot that we will try to use as a template. Let's call it ask, wait, and schedule message. Use an empty flow, and let's create it. The idea here is to use this bot as a template, and then in your parent bot use the jump to bot action to use this template whenever you want. So the idea here is to have variables that will be parameterized in the parent bot. So what the template will do is simply send a message, then wait. So first we need to create multiple variables. So the first one is going to be a question that will store the first message. Then we will create the reminder message. And we also need to store the answer from the user. And we will do so via a variable called user answer. So we have the variables we need, and we're going to create the flow. So the send, here we use the question and we don't do anything else. Then we wait for the user answer, and we're going to add a scheduled fallback. And here, really complex part is to actually save the user answer into a variable, and we do so via the set variable action, and we save it into the user answer, and we replace the text via the last user answer here. So here we have the basic flow, but we also want to handle the schedule fallback. We will do so via the send message and via the reminder message. So yeah, just a quick point on this. As I said, these variables will be set in the parent flow. And here also we want to add a small logic to be sure that we don't spam the user after, like let's say 5 retries. So what we do is we set the variable called, oh, we actually forgot to create one variable, which we will call numbers of retry. And this variable is going to be a number. So here we use it via the set variable. We set the variable number of retry. We add only one, because when we go into the schedule fallback, we just increase by 1 the number of retry, and what we want to do is have a small condition here that checks that number. So if the number of retry is less than something that we fixed, let's say 5, so let's call it less than 5 retries, then we can jump back to the initial question. And we're going to jump back to the beginning of the template flow. If greater than 5 retries, then it goes into the fallback, and the fallback doesn't do anything, so it will stop the bot. So that's pretty much it. We have our template, and now we're gonna see how we're gonna use this template into the parent flow. Okay, so now we are back on our flow that we want to simplify with our template bot. So just as a summary, I want to show you what it's doing at the moment with the simulator. And as I said before, it's very simple. So hello, it's gonna ask 3 times a question, my name, and then sum it up. And you can see that it's also scheduling a reminder. So where do we live? Paris. Okay, and finally, what do we eat? Pasta. And you have a message at the end summing up everything. So, okay, now the goal is to replace and simplify this this flow. So what I'm gonna do is wipe out everything by going to the first version of the bot. And now, instead of having all these actions, we're gonna use our bot flow, subbot. So let's use this just action and select the template that we created, ask, wait, and schedule message. I say template, but it's just a bot. And now we're going to select where we want to jump, and of course we want to jump at the beginning of the flow. So this one. And now we're gonna explain why we created all these values, like the questions variable or the reminder variable and so on. It's because we want to set them from the parent bot. So you're gonna use this button and select the variable you want to set and enter any value you want. Of course, you can also use values and variables from the parent, which can be useful sometimes. So here we're gonna set the questions, which is what is your name? And also we're gonna set the reminder message. Okay, so now that we have the 2 questions, we can also turn this setting on, which will allow the bot to continue after the subbot is finished. This is super useful if you want to continue the flow of the parent bot and just use the child bot as a template like we do at the moment. Okay, so now we created this action. Maybe we can name it something like name and wait. Okay, and we're gonna do the same. And now we're gonna ask a new question, doing exactly the same thing. Where do you live? And same reminder message. Sorry, you forgot to answer. And same again, we continue the flow after it's finished. Again, for the last question, we jump the bot and we do the same. What do you like? And that's it. So Here, with only 3 simple blocks, we managed to simplify a lot the user flow. So just as a reminder, if you compare this to the previous one, it was looking like this, and the new one is looking like this, doing exactly the same. We can maybe test it and see if it works. Okay, so it's asking the right question. Now it's jumping to the next. Where do I live? Paris. And finally, what do I hit? Basta. And now the body is off. So you may have noticed that we are missing one thing, is the last message, which was summing up everything we entered. How can we do this? The solution is to grab the answer from the childbot and save them into a variable, the parent bot. So first we're gonna select here, continue the flow, okay, and we're gonna do send message, okay, here are the answers. And to be able to save variables or values from the childbot to the parent, we're going to do this via variables in the parent bot. So let's create a variable in the parent bot that will handle and save everything for us. Okay, complete name. The second one is going to be location. And finally, the last one is going to be food. Okay, so we have a variable to store each answer, and we're going to use it in each one of the action via this button here, save values from child variables into this bot variable. You add the value, and then here you select the value you want to store. So we're going to use the variable name and store the user answer. So we use the variable from the childbot and target the variable of the parent bot here. We click save, and we do the same for the rest. Here we select the location, and same, we use the user answer. Same for the last one. We use the food, and we use the user answer child variable. And finally, we can have everything here via variables. So name, location, and food, like so. Okay, save, and now we can test it and have a full feature. Roman, Paris, and chocolat. And finally, you can see that it's coming back to this action here, and all the variables have been set up correctly. That's it. So I hope you really understand the power of this action, because it can simplify and also help you to minimize the number of errors in your bot, because every time you use something that you know very well, like a template, you know that it will act exactly the way you want. So don't forget to use this feature if you have massive bot or complex logic to reduce and simplify your flows. Thanks for watching.